So Tommy ironically finds himself in this position that Ghost was in power, and this is the position where Ghost always had something at stake. For example, he had business, love, but most importantly, he had kids and he had a family. So we constantly saw him try and protect truth. With love, we saw him break up with Angela because Milan was too dangerous. But his family is something he just couldn't separate himself from. And this was one of Ghost's biggest weaknesses, his kids, and ironically his ultimate downfall as well. Now, although you could argue the St. Patricks were Tommy's family as well, he never had much blood-related family apart from Kate Egan and Tony Teresi. But now Tommy has family of his own. He just may understand why Ghost moved the way he did, and it was telling in the way he spoke to D-Mac, because he wants him to flex his mathematical mind and do anything rather than staying in this game. But where Tommy made reference to Ghost's death, I want to look at this from a different perspective, and that's because he's seen his other nephew in Tariq St. Patrick go down a road where he gave him a stark warning.
Did you fucking feel that? This is the game. Every fucking moment of your life, if you ain't pushing, you falling.
And Tommy really is beginning to understand how this game breaks families apart. And in the case of the St. Patricks, you either end up dead or in jail, just like Tasha, Ghost, and Tariq himself in Power Book 2 Ghost. So mixing family and business is always a bad idea, which is why I'm surprised Tommy did. But maybe he allowed them to be in the game because they were going to do it with or without him. So he thought if they were going to be in the game, then they may as well do it under his watch. And this is something similar to what Raquel did with Kanan in Power Book 3. And if Ghost accepted Tariq for who he was, I'm sure the outcome would have been different for their relationship as well. So that gives us a bit more understanding into how Tommy may understand why Ghost did what he did. But what this also does is expose Tommy. So we've already looked at how family can be his weakness, but as always, we need to look at this from a different perspective and how family may have just exposed Tommy to law enforcement from New York. And this goes back to something I mentioned 2 or 3 weeks ago in this video, with how law enforcement could catch up to Tommy. And this is the reason why I believe he was so angry with JP in episode 9, because what JP did in calling Kate really does risk exposing Tommy.
I called Kate.
What? Did you tell her where I am?
No.
You don't know what the fuck you just did!
I did what I thought was right.
You did what you thought was right for you!
So we're just gonna park this for just a moment, because to understand why Tommy's so angry with JP, we need to rewind it back to Power and Tommy's return to Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1. Now Tommy and Kate have never left their relationship in the best of places at the end of Power, because Kate always loved Jamie more than Tommy, so she blamed him for his death, and she also told him he could go to California or hell, which she described as the same thing. So fast forward to Power Book 2 Ghost, and after being name dropped all season, he returned in the season finale because Tasha made a deal with Steven Knott where she'll keep her mouth shut about all the shambles that Cooper Saxe caused, which Tariq exposed on the stand in return for Tommy Egan. Now Tommy being Tommy, he never let snitches live in the world of Power, so he came back to smoke Tasha, but instead he made a deal with Tariq to fake his death so he can leave New York and start fresh anywhere else. Now, Kate's BMW was reported stolen, but we don't know whether Kate gave Tommy the keys and then reported it stolen, or whether Tommy actually just stole the car. But my initial thoughts on this one is, he stole it without her knowing, because of how they ended their relationship in Power, which we just went through. So bringing it back to the current timeline in Power Book 4 Force, Tommy is dead in New York, because Force picks up from Power Book 2 Ghost Season 1, which was confirmed when Tommy told Tatiana this.
Kill me? Tatiana, ain't you heard? I'm already dead.
So this confirmed to us where they were in the timeline, because Tommy's already dead in New York. But rewinding it back to episode 3, we do have to remember Tommy's images were snapped by Officer Kayla and Vargas after Tommy's meeting with Walter Flynn and Diamond at Dr. Parker's office. And this is something Tommy noticed. And this is why Tommy really is treading carefully and doesn't want anything to do with New York or his past life, because anything that links him back to New York puts his dead status in jeopardy. So all season we've been seeing him tell JP he wants nothing to do with his mom Kate, because she chose to love a ghost more than him. She's trouble and she's not worth his time. And maybe Tommy is right, because let's face it, Kate isn't exactly Mother of the Year. And JP did actually get a taste of this when he tried ringing Kate again, but he realized she disconnected her number. And Tommy did warn him she's not worth his trouble, tears, or time. But she still may have a reason why she lied for all those years, and Tommy really can't speak for Kate, not on the family secrets and for what JP wants answers for anyway. But JP calling Kate really does put Tommy in jeopardy, because now that Kate knows Miriam Egan has passed, this opens the door for her to return to Chicago, and law enforcement very well may have eyes on Kate because of these pictures that were snapped in episode 3. And it also makes me ask the question, what name came up when this cop ran his searches after he stopped Diamond in episode 2? because everything came back clean from Tommy's license and registration. But this is the reason why Tommy flipped on JP. Not so much because he can't handle Kate returning to his life, but he opened up his past where he's supposed to be dead in New York, and this is something that could connect Tommy back. So JP may very well have been doing something that he thought was right for him by trying to reconnect and giving the news to Kate that her mom had passed. But he didn't know this side of Tommy's story, because all Tommy's told him is Kate is no good and she chose to love a ghost more than him. But he failed to tell him how he faked his death in New York, which was one of the many reasons why he left. Now JP doesn't need to know everything, because this is how you end up getting your family in trouble, by involving them in things they shouldn't be. But just like in the case of Monet keeping things from Zeke to protect him, for example Ramirez's death, Tommy was doing the same in this case with JP, but in Monet's case it backfired, and I think there's every chance the same could happen with Tommy as well. And this is because I do believe Kate could return in the season finale, because with JP telling her how Miriam Egan passed, I'm sure Kate knows Miriam is in Chicago, because she probably was her emergency contact at the hospital, which is how JP would have got her number. So if Kate knew Miriam was in Chicago, she would have some history here, with JP being part of that history, and who knows what else, because I've run through the theory of the Flynns in this video, which I will leave the link to down below in the description and comment section. But now she knows JP is in Chicago, does she know Tommy's here, and does she even know Tommy's alive? Because the Tasha St. Patrick case had a lot of media attention, and I'm sure with the news of Tasha's release and Tommy supposedly dying in New York, this would have been all over the news. So this is something I think we need the answers to, and something we are so close to finding out. Because with episode 10 being titled Family Business, there's going to be a lot of family elements. We're going to see play out from the Flynns reuniting and this whole situation where Walter Flynn manipulated his kids into believing Tommy was behind the hit with the Serbs. There's also Diamond versus Jannard and their broken relationship, with Diamond finally realizing his brother's a snake. But in the case of Tommy, JP, Kate and D-Mac, Tommy's family secrets and Kate's return could very well fall into episode 10 as well. And in my trailer breakdown, I did make reference to how there could be a twist in the tale if Walter Flynn has Tommy cornered. So could Kate come to the rescue, revealing the secret with the Flynns, which is a very popular theory in the comment section. But on the other side of all of this, Tommy will be hoping D-Mac pulls through, which it looks like he will, and you could understand why Tommy and JP were pissed off at each other for the secrets that they kept, but I'm sure this is something that they'll be able to get past over in time. But that's how Tommy could very well find himself exposed from the angle of how Ghost felt during his time in power, where he felt he needed to protect Tariq from the game and protect the rest of his family, but also how he could be exposed with Kate's return, thanks to JP and law enforcement who could very well follow Kate to Chicago. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section and let me know your predictions for Family Business and whether Tommy could find himself exposed. Drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and of course if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 4 Force and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.